Welcome to Foxtrot Whiskey Bravo. I'm your host, Beth, and you are listening to episode number 7, How to Finance Your Flight Training. Up to this point, we talked about several things already, including how to select the flight school, how to select the flight instructor, how much it's going to cost you, and how to apply for scholarships, right? So this topic is mostly about different ways to finance your flight training. Please make sure to listen to the very end because I ran across a scholarship like 2 nights ago that I didn't know about it, and it's going to help you for your private. Yes. And the requirements are very minimum. So if you want to know about this scholarship, which I'm not going to put anywhere else, and how to apply for this scholarship, you're going to have to listen to the very end or the middle. I'm not going to tell you what point to find out more information about this scholarship. Please sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy this topic. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you if this is your first time listening, and I'd like to say thank you if you're coming back. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And like always, please ignore any sounds you hear in the background because it's kind of hard. My dog, she barks very loud. She breathes heavily. She snores very, very loud. I was going to say drool, but you can't see drool on a podcast, right? So please ignore my dog. Let's talk about how to finance your flight training and how to apply for that scholarship that I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know about it. The first thing you can do is, if you can, try to work multiple jobs. Maybe you could do a full-time job and then you could do a part-time job, right? On this part-time job, you can use this, save this money for your flight training. While we're talking about jobs, you can also try to find a job at the school that you're planning to attend to, right? So if your school is attached to an FBO, most likely sometimes they are, see if this FBO is hiring. Sometimes they need someone in the front desk to help out. Sometimes they need a line person. And a lot of times these FBOs, if you're working for them and you're trying to do your flight training, most of the time they'll give you some kind of discount on the rental rates. The CFI rates, they don't really give discounts, but on the rental rates, they might break you a little deal. Another way you can try to do it is if you have an apartment, you live by yourself, you have a 2-bedroom apartment, maybe try to get a roommate. Have the roommate split half the bills with you, and that half that you're not spending out of your pocket, you could use this for flight training also. Another way to kind of save money on your flight training, if you can, try to fly at least, twice a week if that's possible, right? Try to fly as much as you can. If you can't fly twice a week, make sure if you can get a simulator at home and practice doing your simulator. You can learn how to do navigation off your sim. You can learn how to, you can fly across country on your sim. You can practice crosswind landings and taking offs. You can do a lot with the sim, which will help you on your flight training, right? To save a little bit of money. Another thing you can do is, I know one of my friends, she does this. I didn't do it personally because I learned about credit cards when I was in my 20s. But one of my friends, she's in her 20s, how she finances her flight training is that she has credit cards. So what she does is that she'll use her credit cards, the one with the low interest or 6 months interest free. She uses that one to put all her private pilot or Instramere commercial on this one. And then after she finishes her training, she goes and she repays it. Every single penny she gets, she repays it off. So therefore, she's getting that credit card debt back to the very small number, right? So a credit card sometimes help. So think about that one if you have really good credit. But remember, if you're using credit cards, make sure you're paying them off. Don't go finance all your flight training on a credit card. If you can, like all your private pilot, not from private to commercial. And don't pay your bill and get bad credit. That's not good advice. That's horrible advice. Another thing that you can try doing is to save help you is ask the school that you're going to if they offer the buying blocks. Some schools say if you buy 10 hours at one time, or not really buy them, but you put enough money to pay for 10 hours of flight training at once. Sometimes they'll give you like a $10 or $15 discount on your rental rates. So ask about that. Another method you can help finance your flight training is loans, right? So there's different type of loans that you can get. You can get privately financed loans. Some of these companies are called We Fly, Financing the Sky. These people are out of Florida. Another one is American Airlines Credit Union. AOPA does flight training finance. Another called Aspire Loans. If you are a VA, you could use your VA benefits to apply for flight training. Those are the ones. Also, you can, before I say last one, right? Maybe your bank. Go to your bank and maybe you get a small personal loan from your bank to help you finance your flight training, right? So I suggest get small loans, pay those small loans off, and then go back for another loan if that's even possible, right? So don't buy more than you can chew. Think about, because you have to pay all this stuff back, right? So I will do maybe like a part-time job, and once I have my part-time job, I'll apply for as many scholarships that I can, and on top of the scholarships, then I'll start looking for loans, right? So that's the way I will look into it. I would not just jump directly into loans, because you don't want to put yourself into debt at any point in your aviation career, right? Because in the beginning you don't make that much, at the end you make great, but you have to pay off your debt. So think about that. Thank you. So if you made it to this part of the podcast, I appreciate you for listening in and tuning in. This is the juicy part. So like 2 nights ago, I was looking at something online and I ran across a scholarship, which I had no idea they had a scholarship. I would apply for this a long time ago when I was getting my private, if I knew they had it. Since I know about it, I'm going to let y'all know about it, right? This scholarship I'm talking about right now, they have 2, but the one I'm talking about right now is just for those obtaining their private pilot, right? So you don't have to have it. Let's talk about the scholarship. The due date is October the 1st, 2018. That means it's current. You have to write an essay. You have to write one essay of 100 words or fewer. You have to write a second essay of 300 words or fewer. So far, you need to write 2 essays, total 400 words. That's papitas, right? That's easy. Then you have to write, fill in application your work experience, which is not bad. That's kind of easy to do. Everyone has work experience. If you're in college, just put NA if you don't have any kind of work experience, or if you are in college and you're like a sub, not a sub, but you run the lab tech, or you're helping out the teacher, or you're doing whatever you're doing on campus, I'll write that as a work experience also. If you're not in college, you're in high school, and you have a summer job, I'll write down my summer job. To be eligible to apply for the scholarship, this is the criteria. You must be 16 years of age or older. So if you're 16 and above, you can apply. Applicant must not yet have a pilot license. So only people who apply for the scholarship are those who are working towards their pilot license. Applicant must demonstrate interest in aviation, and achieve a pilot license. So you must have interest in aviation and you must get your pilot license. You have to complete the packet information, and your family cannot be part of this company. That's it. Can you believe that? That's all. So you don't. So it's nothing about being a female or male. Nothing about being a United States citizen. Nothing about being a kid or in college. So anybody can apply for this scholarship, as long as you have the link, right? So let's make sure we get this correctly. If you would like the link to the scholarship, oh wait, hold up. Before I go back, how much is this scholarship worth? Let me pause. So the scholarship amount for this one is going to be $1,500, and it could be used for, but not limited to, the following areas: flight training and education tuition fees. So you can use 100% for flight training, or if you're in college and you have some tuition that you cannot pay for and they're going to kick you out of college, this is some money that you could use to stay inside of college, right? Now, how can you get this link from me? This is all I'm asking for, right? I'm asking you to please subscribe to the podcast and to leave a review. Leave a 1-star or 5-star review. Doesn't matter what you leave me, and please leave me a note, right? If you like the podcast, what you might want to hear in the future, and how can I improve my podcast. That's all I'm asking for, and I did a lot of hard work already for you, right? I'm telling you exactly what it is. Now, let's talk about the other scholarship I ran across. The exact same thing, and this scholarship is for anybody, right? You must have your private pilot license, but that's it. So let's talk about that one. Now, the second scholarship, which, grabbed my attention, but I probably won't apply for it. This one is for $2,000. It could be used for flight training, education, license and fees, or new license and ratings. Right? I'm just thinking, right? I probably could apply to get that seaplane rating. That's what I really want to get next, right? But I'm giving this to y'all. I won't apply for this one. I'll just wait till next year to apply for it. I want to make sure everyone's applying for these scholarships and getting this free money. I have other things I need to get done this year, right? So let's talk about this scholarship. So this scholarship itself is just like the other one. It's due October the 1st, 2018. Therefore, it's current. You have to write 2 essays. One essay has to be 100 words. The second one has to be 300 words or fewer. You have to do your work experiences on it. And then to be eligible for this, you have to be a member of this thing. But the membership is for free. And you have to have so many points in order to apply also. But I would tell you how to get those points if you want to apply. Just send me an inbox at nerdybeftx@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Instagram, which is on nerdybeftx.com, and that's it. You don't have to be a citizen. There's no age requirements. There's no state requirements. It's pretty simple how you can apply for this one. And remember, this is for $2,000 for training, and it could be used for a new license or rating, but you must have your private pilot license already. I'm wrapping it up. I'd like to say thank you for listening to episode 7 on Foxtrot Whiskey Bravo with your host, Beth, which is me, of course, right? Please tune in and make sure, please, I appreciate it if you subscribe to the podcast station, however you find it. And if you can, leave me a review and rate the podcast. Remember, Foxtrot Whiskey Bravo. I try to do podcasts more often, but right now I've been really busy. I'll talk about that in another episode. But, you know what, go out and get that free money, and happy flying. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, it's going to be nerdybeftx@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram under nerdybeftx. I have a website. It's www.nerdybeftx.com. And on Twitter, guess what it's going to be? nerdybeftx. Peace. Bye-bye.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.